Before we begin today's episode, I'd like to make some quick shout-outs. Thank you to all of our fans that have shown us love and support since the start of our podcast. A few of you have messaged me on Instagram to express your love and excitement for each new episode. Some of these people include Sakable and Live Action Avatar, a couple of Avatar fan pages devoted to all things Avatar. They're pretty awesome. Be sure to check them out. And if you haven't already, please spread the word about Beyond Bending Podcast. If you know someone that loves Avatar The Last Airbender, or have friends and family that you've told countless times to watch a show, but they keep ignoring you, try showing them one of our episodes. Who knows, maybe we can convince them to start watching the show. We are just starting out, but we need your help. Please spread the word about Beyond Bending Podcast. It would mean so much to us. I'd also like to announce that our YouTube videos will be on hold for a while. It's too much for me to handle right now, on top of recording and editing each episode. Making YouTube videos is a whole thing, and I can't seem to devote enough time to complete them. Instead, starting January 1st, we will be doing an Artist of the Day segment on Instagram, where we feature an Avatar fan artist and display their work. Follow us on Beyond Bending Podcast on Instagram to check out these incredible artists. Some of these pieces are really amazing. Be sure to check them out. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to a Mr. Santa Claus. Santa has given me a brand new gaming chair for Christmas, which is way better than the horrible IKEA chair I'm currently using to edit the episodes. The IKEA chair looks cute, but in reality it's really bad for my back. And this new gaming chair is way more comfortable and better for me in the long run. So thank you so much, Santa, for this wonderful gift. Now, without further ado, warning. The following podcast contains massive spoilers. If you haven't seen Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra yet, and don't mind spoilers, hopefully this podcast will inspire you to watch along with us. Now let's begin. Hello, and welcome to Beyond Bending, a show about a bunch of millennials analyzing an animated kids show. I'm your host, Marilyn Chanthala, and today's special guest I have...
Hi, my name's Briana, one of Marilyn's best friends. We met in college, studied film together. Basically, love the show, love film, love the whole industry, love animation, studied it in college. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Happy to be here.
Banana slugs.
Banana slugs for life.
Whenever I go out wearing my UC Santa Cruz sweatshirt, in public, people stop me and they're like, "Oh, banana slugs! I went to blah blah blah," and they tell me their whole life story, and I'm just like, cool.
Yeah, the same thing happens for me. I feel like everybody knows someone from Santa Cruz or has some connection to it. But, it's this tiny little beach town, you know? With, all these retired people and then college students. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I also love how UC Santa Cruz has so many colleges, and every college has, their own personality, like the Hogwarts house.
Yep.
And so it's a bunch of pride from every college that you're in.
I know.
Anyways, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Episode 4, The Warriors of Kyoshi, Book 1, Water. So, the episode starts with Zuko's Fire Navy ship sailing out to sea. Prince Zuko is meditating in his quarters. In front of him is a table with a bunch of candles lit up. As Zuko breathes in and out, the candles dim and grows bigger. The door opens, and without turning around, Zuko says that the only reason anyone should be interrupting him is if there's any news about the Avatar. Uncle Iroh says there's news, but it's not good. Zuko reassures him that he can handle it. Uncle Iroh's like, okay, and proceeds to tell him that they have no idea where the Avatar is. Zuko starts freaking out, and all the candle flames shoot up into the ceiling. He grabs the map from Uncle Iroh and says, "How the heck are we going to find him, Uncle? He's clearly a master of evasive maneuvering." The camera cuts to a matching shot of Sokka holding the same map. "You have no idea where you're going, do you?" he says to Aang. Aang says that it's definitely near water as they fly across the ocean. Stupid. He looks back at Katara and sees that she's sewing Sokka's pants. He tells Momo to grab him his marbles. "Katara, look!" Aang says as he spins the marbles in between his hands. Without looking up, Katara compliments him, and Aang gets upset. And Sokka tells Aang to stop distracting her and says, "You need to give girls space to do their sewing."
Ugh.
Katara's like, "What does my gender have to do with sewing?" Sokka replies back by saying that girls are better at fixing pants than guys, and that guys are basically better at girls in hunting and fighting and everything else. This upsets Katara, and she throws Sokka's pants back at him, which makes Sokka upset because his pants still have a hole in it.
Good.
Aang tells him that where they're going, he won't need any pants and to just relax. Finally, the gang lands on the beach, but Katara and Sokka are skeptical. They tell Aang that they're making too many pit stops and that they should hurry. Aang tries to blame it on Appa by saying that he's tired, but Appa is not convincing at all.
I love Appa.
Aang points at the ocean and tells Katara and Sokka that they're here because he's gonna ride an elephant koi. He takes off his clothes and jumps in the water. Aang manages to hop onto the koi fish and rides it. Sokka is not impressed, and Katara starts cheering, but she gets distracted when she sees Appa eating something he shouldn't be eating. As Aang is riding the koi fish, he looks back to the beach and sees that Katara is not paying attention and gets bummed. But wait, there's something in the water. Katara comes back and both Sokka and Katara try to warn Aang about whatever's in the water, and Aang just thinks they're cheering for him. The koi fish throws Aang off, and a fin the size of a building pops out from underneath the water, and Aang starts freaking out and takes off, and he's basically running on water like he's Jesus.
He's Jesus? He is our savior, technically.
And finally manages to get back to the shore unharmed. Sokka tells them that they have to get going, and right when he says this, a group of soldiers drop from the trees and tie them up and blindfold them. Okay. Where do we start?
How about the beginning? Because I rewatched this episode before we started recording this, and I thought the part where like Zuko was meditating with the 4 candles, and like as he's breathing, the flames get bigger and then smaller and then bigger and then smaller. That was so cool.
It was so cool.
It was so cool. Like,
I was like, ooh.
I know.
Chills.
You can like tell his power. Even when he's at his most calm and restful, he still like manipulates the flames around him. So it just magnifies how much power he has when he's fully aware and like firebending.
But then he just loses it.
I know. He's just so temperamental. Even though he's a banished prince, he's still like a prince. He's used to luxury and people waiting on him hand and foot. So like when he's interrupted, he has the most bratty.
He's such a brat.
He's such a brat. He's just so bratty.
I love how Uncle Iroh pulls out a fan from his pocket. Like, 1, foreshadowing, and 2, he's like, yo, open up a window.
I know.
It's gross in here. It's hot.
When I saw it, I was like, what is he talking about? They're on a ship.
Yeah.
Do not open windows unless you want the ship to sink.
I love how the shot of Zuko holding the map and the transition, it's like a dissolve to
I
Sokka.
know. It was so nice. It was so smooth. And it shows the counterparts between the antagonist of the episode comparatively to the protagonist of the episodes.
Yeah.
You know how like it goes from bad to good, so you can see the different environments that they're in, you know? From metal ship that's basically on the ocean, chugging forward to find the Avatar, and then the actual Avatar up in the air, living life to the greatest right now. It was so good. Oh my god. And then Appa's the best. Just saying. He literally carries everybody on his back the whole time. He's the hero. I feel like he doesn't get appreciated enough. But then like Sokka with his grossness and having his sister sew his pants because that's her job as a girl. Literally rolled my eyes so hard.
So sexist.
I know.
Every episode I watch, like, Momo's starting to grow on me.
What do you mean? Did you not like Momo?
Well, I'm mad at myself. Like, past Marilyn watching it, didn't appreciate Momo. But watching this again, I'm starting to notice every scene that Momo's in and what he brings to the table. Like, Momo has thumbs. Momo is basically like, hey Google, or hey Alexa, like, hey Momo, can you go grab the marbles for me? And so he's able to like grab it and be like...
But, like, Momo can comprehend.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Yeah. And then he also provides that comedic effect to everything too. I also want to point out how Sokka was just like wide-legged, just chilling in the back of like Appa's saddle. It was so weird and gross at the same time because he was doing nothing. Like he was contributing nothing. And like Aang was steering. Katara was like the responsible one, you know? Like she's always trying to keep everybody on track. Aang can fly and like of course he's the Avatar. And like right now at this point, Sokka thinks he's like the shit and doesn't have to do anything. He literally just envisions himself to be like this all-powerful warrior that he's trained to be in his all-natural strength and everything. And it was also gross how I thought he wasn't wearing underwear in the back of the saddle. I pointed that out to you and you were like, no, he's wearing underwear. Ugh. So annoying.
Yeah, Sokka's ego is very big in this episode, and then it gets destroyed later, which is so fun to watch.
Growth. Character growth.
When they finally land on Kyoshi Island and Aang jumps in the water, This whole episode is very cringy because it's basically just like Aang showing off. And it's cringy to me because I've been there.
Really?
I've been there. Yeah, like there are some moments in my life where I did want to like impress someone. And so I'm watching this and I'm like, oh God. Oh.
Like, I'm a naturally shy person. Just looking at that, I'm just like, that's so against who I am or what I would do that I'm just so uncomfortable by it. And it's just like, oh my God. I think I rolled my eyes a lot in this episode.
Permanent, like
my eyes are in the back of my skull right now. Like,
yeah, and then when he does jump in the water, he like specifically tells Katara to watch him. Like, not Sokka. It's like, Katara, watch
I know. But like, he has like the biggest crush on Katara.
It's not subtle at all, though.
No, like even up when they were flying, he was like, Katara, look at this. Katara's like over his shit. Because he's done it probably 1,000,000 times and she already knows what he's doing behind her back.
Yeah.
The fact that they stopped to ride the giant koi fish. What are they called?
Koi fish?
What are they called, the giant koi fish?
Oh, elephant koi fish.
The elephant koi fish, yeah. Even like when they were doing that, it just shows how he's still like this little kid who's like following his map from when he ran away. It doesn't really sink into him that like they're at war.
Yeah.
He kind of just wants to continue doing what he's doing, even though he knows there's an active war going on.
Yeah, he's trying to avoid his responsibilities. Even Katara and Sokka are like, dude, we shouldn't make so many pit stops.
I know.
Like, we're never going to get to the North Pole.
I know. You have a limited amount of time. He needs like a wake-up call.
Yeah, and he gets it in this episode.
Yeah, he does. We'll get to that later. But like, because he's like the only airbender, I think he likes that because it gives him extra attention. On top of being the Avatar, he's just like packed with attention. And I don't know if he got that when he was with the monks, because I feel like they didn't give Vanity as much value in that community. It's just building on him and he's just like realizing how important he is. And then with all the attention he gets in this episode, it's...
his ego balloon just goes all the way up.
Yeah, it goes up and it's gonna pop, you know? Like, and you see it pop in this episode. I don't think he was used to all that attention. Like last time he got that special treatment, he ran away from the air temple. And that's why he was frozen solid for 100 years. Because he didn't want that special treatment.
Can we talk about the scene when Aang is running away from the Unagi?
And he's Jesus running in
the
water.
And it's making like a squishy noise, like classic.
I thought if I was an airbender, that would react the same way, honestly. Well, if I was an airbender, I'd just be running on water all day. It would be so fun. I realize in every like intense moment in this show, even in the most dramatic fight scene, there has to be like a little element of comedy. Because like he's about to be eaten by this giant eel thing, but yet they have him run on water and they put like funny little sound effects under it. Or when there's a huge fight scene, Sokka will do something funny in the background. Like in the very second episode, where like Katara is trying to waterbend to like freeze the firebenders on the ship. She accidentally freezes Sokka, you know? Big intense moment and then a little hint of comedy here and there.
Yeah, and then when he does get back on land, he full on tackles Sokka going like 50 miles an hour. And you see like the drag marks on the snow.
Yeah.
And Sokka just, he slides back and then the tree stops him.
Right.
And no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, what was that? And Sokka should have died. Something should have broken.
I just want to point out to everyone, Marilyn just loves pointing out when people should have died in TV shows and movies. Like, I swear, every time someone like falls downstairs, she's like, death should have happened. They should have died. Like, I feel like that's happened so many times to Sokka in his life that it's just the norm now.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out how Katara, again, is like the responsible one. She's always like, you have to be careful, be safe, should you be doing this? Like, even when she was watching Aang ride the elephant koi, she turns around and she sees Appa doing something he shouldn't. So what does she do? She turns around and runs to go handle that situation. What does Sokka do? Nothing. Like, once again, he just stands there and does nothing. Yeah, I love Sokka. Like, I love him. But in this stage of, like, the character development, he's just the spoiled, bratty older brother, the firstborn, you know? I, as a second child, like Katara, connect very well with being the responsible one. So that's what I want to point out.
Yeah, Katara's the best.
Yeah.
But let's continue. Aang, Sokka, and Katara are tied up to a pillar. A man tells them that they have some explaining to do, while we hear a woman threaten to throw them back in the water with the unagi if they don't talk. Sokka tells them to show themselves, and they do. They remove their blindfolds and we see a group of women in uniform. Sokka questions them and asks, where are the men that ambushed them? The leader of the group tells Sokka that it was them that ambushed them and starts interrogating the gang by asking why they're on the island. Sokka doesn't believe her and the leader of the group gets offended. She grabs Sokka by the chest. How do I explain that? Like, you know when someone grabs your shirt? By the shirt?
By the shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, good job.
I thought of it myself. Yeah. She grabs Sokka by the shirt and threatens to throw him back with the unagi. Katara tries to mediate the situation by saying that Sokka didn't mean it and that he's an idiot sometimes.
Yep, what have I been saying?
Aang speaks up and says that they're only here because he wanted to ride the elephant koi. The man interrogating them doesn't believe him and thinks that they're Fire Nation spies. He then goes on to tell us that Kyoshi has stayed out of the war so far and that they intend to keep it that way. Aang gets excited when he hears the name of the island is named after Kyoshi and says that he knows Kyoshi. The man says that's impossible. Kyoshi's been dead for centuries, and Aang says he knows her because he's the Avatar. No one believes him, so Aang airbends out of the ropes and the whole village gasps. Aang then pulls out his marbles and starts airbending them in between his hands, and the whole village loses their shit. Foaming Mouth Guy starts waving his hands up and down and passes out. We get a montage of people spreading the news that the Avatar is on Kyoshi Island. Zuko hears this and tells Uncle Iroh to ready the rhinos. We cut back to Kyoshi Island. The villagers are repainting Kyoshi's statue, and the gang and Appa are getting the royal treatment. There's an elaborate buffet of treats on the table for breakfast, and Aang is just trying everything. He notices that Sokka's not eating, and Katara tells him that Sokka's just bitter because a bunch of girls beat him up yesterday. Sokka gets defensive and storms off, but manages to grab a bunch of pastries on the way out. Katara warns Aang that they shouldn't stay long, and Aang reassures her that everything will be fine. She then goes on to tell him that he shouldn't let all of this attention go to his head. Right when she says this, a swarm of girls start screaming outside their window. Aang is like relishing in all of this. We get a montage of the fangirls chasing Aang around town / showing off, and Katara is not impressed. Meanwhile, Sokka interrupts the Kyoshi warriors during their training. Suki apologizes for how she treated Sokka yesterday, and Sokka forgives him, but says some sexist comments in the process. He then tells him how he's the best warrior in the village. Suki plays along with this and asks Sokka to demonstrate some moves for them. Sokka hesitates, but eventually gives in. He uses Suki to demonstrate and tells Suki to try to block him. He goes for a punch and Suki blocks the attack.
And with like nothing, no effort.
No effort at all.
Total ease. She lifted an arm.
After multiple failed attempts, Sokka lashes out and full-on tries to hurt Suki, but Suki just spins him around like a toy, grabs the string from his outfit and ties his wrists to his ankle. Sokka loses his balance and falls on his face. Yeah. The Kyoshi warriors laugh. Sokka is just completely distraught.
Yeah, it's just pure embarrassment right there. Literally, he's just being proven wrong for every misogynistic thing that.
Dude, serves him right.
I know, he deserved it. Honestly, it's like a wake-up call. I rolled my eyes so much during that scene because of everything he was saying. He was like, I'm the best warrior in my village. It was like that village, the tiny little village where it's mostly elderly and children.
Yeah, in the beginning, Sokka is all talk. He's all talk, no bark. He's like, what is it?
Small dick energy.
Yeah, he's small dick energy.
Oh my god. Yes.
I just saw Brianna's light bulb go off.
Ding.
Can we talk about how Suki, Sokka goes for a punch and Suki just straight up lifts her arm and taps his armpit with the fan and he's just
he's just pure brute force, and then it shows how the Kyoshi warriors' fighting style is more elegant and just pure tactic instead of just power, which is shows how naive Sokka is, how he doesn't really know about fighting. Well, because he grew up in such a small little village, there was no one to teach him. His dad and all the other warriors left, so it just shows how he's just literally all talk because he's compensating for not knowing anything at all. He barely knows how to use his boomerang.
It does work. That one time the one and only time we've seen so far.
1 out of 100.
It hits Zuko. Oh my god. And then I want to bring up how Momo was tied with them.
Oh my god, I wanted to talk about this too.
so cute. Oh
I know. I was just like, oh my god, he's being captured and is in danger, but still, aw. Like, it was so cute. It was like a little pouch. It was like a weird form of a Snuggie.
Oh man. Appa's your favorite character, right?
I love Appa. Nobody gives him enough credit. Did you know someone had to voice Appa? First of all, the person who voiced Appa has done so many other voices. He did Daffy Duck in Space Jam. Like, people need to know this. But anyway, Appa is just like the best. He's not a car, people.
Oh, and then when the gang is getting the royal treatment, you see Appa just getting pampered.
Oh, I know. Like, literally laying down and just eating the food. He doesn't even have to bend over. He's just being brushed and brushed. I wanted to talk about the little girls who are like fangirling over Aang. How old are they? Because they look like babies. They were so tiny.
Like 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, that's weird. And he was blushing over that? Was he blushing over the girls or over the attention?
Both? I think it's inappropriate if like an 11-year-old is like...
It was just weird all around. I was just like, okay, these little like 5-year-olds are screaming over a boy. Yes, he's the avatar, but like... Also, what happened to Foaming Mouth Guy?
Fun fact, one of the creators have confirmed that Suki and Mouth Foam Guy dated. And obviously it didn't work out. Can you imagine that situation?
Ew. She's so out of his league.
She is, yeah.
Oh my god. Just imagine like dating someone who every time they got excited about something, their mouth foams and they pass out.
Ugh. But even Sokka at this point in like the beginning of book 1, even Sokka's like way out of Suki's league. Can't even like...
I know. She's just so elite, you know?
Yeah. She has it together. She's basically...
She's the first line of defense for her village, for her people.
She's the sheriff of the town.
Yeah, she's the sheriff, you know? She's basically, if you think about it, she's like second in command of the whole village besides that one guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that they chose this episode for how Sokka is like so misogynist, that they're on Kyoshi Island because she was a female avatar and how they are female warriors. So like it shows how they don't care about gender on the island and they play Sokka in that environment and his macho attitude as like another way to give him character development to like widen his perspective on genders and what he needs to learn and how he needs to change. And he does in this episode, which is progress.
Yeah, his fragile masculinity is shattered in this episode for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I want to talk about how the only man in the village that has lines, they don't even say his name.
I know. I call him Old Man Leader.
Old Man Leader of the Kyoshi Warriors. When I'm like recapping, I'm watching it on my phone with like the Amazon Video app. And when you pause it, there's like...
It shows the cast and like the voices.
Yeah, they show you the cast and the names. And then I looked it up and it was like Oyaji.
Yeah. But they don't say his name.
They never say his name. They also only say... Like, Suki never introduces herself either. We see Sokka calling her Suki later.
She doesn't introduce herself?
No.
Then how does Sokka know?
I guess they cut it out. Like, they just went straight to the point.
Plot gap. There's some behind the scenes stuff that needs to be revealed.
Come on, Netflix, get on that.
Get on it now. We need it.
But yeah, his name is Oyaji. Oyaji?
Let's go with that.
I don't know if I'm saying it right, because they never say his name.
It's so weird. Maybe, like, they pulled it from, like, later episodes?
No, this is, like, the only episode he's in.
Really? I feel like he's in the other episodes.
No.
Really? We're going to have to fact check that later.
Oh my god. When Aang is airbending out of the ropes, he jumps up and simultaneously does a backflip and cuts the ropes with like the Kyoshi statue's fans. Just like slow-mo levitates down.
I laughed so hard at everyone's like awe face, like their gas face. Like everyone had their mouth wide open. Because like they saw basically a side-by-side of like Kyoshi and the Avatar, you know?
Yeah.
Basically like up in the air. And it was just amazing. Like, oh, they are the same person, especially if they're like put side by side one another to make that connection that they're both the Avatar.
Ooh, so good.
Can we also talk about how once again Katara is like the responsible one? Literally, I feel like as a kid, everyone's like, what is with this nagging girl? Just let him have fun. And then now I'm just like, can nobody listen to her? I feel like she's like Aang's conscious at this point, you know? She's always like, be safe, you shouldn't be doing that, we should be getting ready to leave, we need to be preparing, like, we can't stay here for too long. She's always that voice telling him what he should and shouldn't be doing because of the obvious reasons.
Yeah, she's the responsible one. And I feel like both you and I, we would be Katara in this group dynamic, like as the responsible ones that are like...
I feel like we wouldn't give him so much slack, though. We wouldn't take his shit. We would take control.
Oh yeah, we would definitely put Sokka in his place. But it's hard because you do see Katara putting Sokka in his place, but Sokka's not going to learn from his younger sibling. He has to be put in place somewhere else, and he does in front of a bunch of girls, and he just like is so destroyed.
Another thing is that he calls like bending magic, you know? So like because the Kyoshi warriors are just straight up warriors, they're not benders, it hits him harder because they don't have an advantage over him. They're just plain better than him fighting.
Yeah.
That is not water, young lady. She is drinking.
I'm drinking alcohol for every time Sokka says a sexist comment.
Oh, you're drunk. She's drunk.
But the montage of the news traveling was really cool.
I know. It's like following the fish, which is so fun because it's like little girl to man to man to other man to man to warrior, from person who works on Zuko's boat to like Zuko himself.
Yeah. It goes from the little girl telling a fisherman, and the fisherman tells the merchant, and then the merchant tells his customer, and that customer happens to be the Navy cook for Prince Zuko. And it's like a virus, like how Selena Gomez got us all sick.
Oh, I know. Selena Gomez got us all sick, guys. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I work for Interscope Records. I met her. She was sick. Then I got sick. And then I came over to Marilyn's house and I got everybody sick.
So, Selena Gomez just infected this whole house.
I know. It's okay. We're all over it.
Yeah, we got better. Brianna's still kind of sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brianna, stop being sick for this podcast.
Ugh, we just need another round of the Selena Gomez sickness, you know?
No. Anyways.
The little montage with like Aang getting all the attention.
Was so cute.
It was so cute. My favorite part was when the guy's like painting the avatar with the girl. He's talking to himself like, okay, painting the avatar. And then he looks down and looks back up and he's like, oh, there's another one right there. So like when the girls are all appearing little by little and he just goes, what? When there's like a herd around him. It was so funny.
His face is just like, fuck this shit. He gets up and walks away without saying anything.
He was like, I'm not going to paint this. No.
I'm painting the avatar. Ooh, okay, let's see here.
Or like when he's like running away from the girls, like literally over the bridge, the other side of the bridge, up in the air. He's just so full of himself. He's just like, I love the love and the attention.
Well, he basically is Jesus in this episode.
He literally walked on water already.
Confirmed, Aang is Jesus.
He is the savior, everybody. Which, like, everybody keeps telling him how he's the avatar, you know? And how he's there to save the world. Like in the intro.
And yet he's just avoiding all responsibilities.
I know. He was basically running from the negative, and this is the positive. So he's just enjoying the positive now while denying the negative of it. Which is why I feel like he doesn't want to leave. Because Kyoshi has been out of the war for so long. It's like the way the world was before the war happened. So that's why, like, the way that he's being treated is just like what he wants right now. And then when Zuko eventually, like, you know, comes, the glass has shattered as to, like, what is happening in the world. And, like, what happens when he's not accepting of what's happening in the world and what's following him.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I went too deep. No.
What is it, that Oprah meme? No!
It's like zooms in on so many Oprahs, you know?
Or what is it, the Mr. Krabs? Like, oh. So, back to Kyoshi Island. Aang is showing the fangirls Avatar Kyoshi's statue. One of the girls tells Aang that he was really pretty in his past life. And Aang excuses himself and goes to find Katara. Katara is glad to see Aang and asks if he could help her carry some groceries back to their room. Aang says he can't because he promised the girls a ride on Appa. He tells Katara to join them and that it'll be fun. And Katara's like, watching you show off to a bunch of girls does not sound like fun. And then Aang's like, well, neither does carrying your basket. Like, oh my fucking god. Bitch wants to get slapped.
Damn.
Katara says the groceries are for their trip and that they have to leave soon. Aang says he doesn't want to go yet and that he can't place his finger on it, like, ugh. The two start bickering. Katara thinks that all this Avatar stuff is getting in Aang's head. Aang accuses Katara of being jealous. This upsets Katara and she storms off. We cut back to the Kyoshi warrior gym?
The training center?
Kyoshi Warrior Training Center.
It's not a gym.
I'm going to call it, like in Pokemon, I'm going to call it a gym.
Oh my god, it's, no.
What do I call it? The headquarters?
No, let's just go with gym. You know?
Yeah, see?
Leave in the comments what you think we should call it.
So, Sokka approaches him and asks if Suki can train him. He gets on his knees and bows to her and apologizes for all of the sexist comments he made earlier. Suki tells him that they normally don't teach outsiders, especially boys. She makes an exception after Sokka pleads and tells him as long as he follows all of their traditions, including wearing their uniform and makeup, he can train with them. Sokka at first is uncomfortable with all of this, but Suki reassures him by saying how Sokka should be proud. And this is one of the best quotes in Avatar. The silk thread symbolizes the brave blood that flows through our veins. The gold insignia represents the honor of the warrior's heart. And Sokka's like, ooh, all right. But right when he says this, Aang passes by and is like, hey, Sokka, nice dress. And Sokka's like, oh, man. Aang goes to visit Katara, who's practicing her water bending with, like, just a bowl of water.
Yeah, casual.
You know, just casually sitting down, practicing her water bending.
It's like people when they're, like...
on their phones?
Well, yeah, on their phones, or, like, what is it called?
Oh, the spinning...
The spinning thing. What's it called?
All of our listeners hate us.
Oh, my God. We're old. No.
We're a bunch of millennials that forgot what they're called. There's a bunch lying around this house. I can't believe...
No, literally, I feel like I find 3 in this room by not even moving from my chair.
I think it's because we're thinking of, like, the knockoff brand.
Can I Google it?
Okay, Google it real quick.
Because it's going to bother us and we're not going to get anywhere.
I'm going to feel so stupid. We're going to be sleeping
tonight.
Ready?
I know. I would text you, like, at 3 in the morning, like, I remember! I asked my little brother!
Let me see if I could beat you.
No, I'm like, this is the weirdest Google I've ever had.
It has the word spin in it.
Really?
No, I don't fucking know. Come on, Briana.
Spin hand thing.
Spin toy? Finger spin toy? 5 minutes later.
No, it's not been 5 minutes, guys. Fidget spinner!
Fidget spinner. God damn it. It does have the word spinner in it. I told you.
Okay, you were right about that.
Fidget spinner.
But, wow.
God.
Sorry.
When did they become popular? Like 2 years ago?
Yeah, I feel like 2 years ago sounds about
And
right.
it took a year to immediately be outdated.
Yeah.
Like, especially when all the knockoffs started.
All the knockoffs. Oh.
And you could get it for so cheap. One of my old coworkers, when I worked at the movie theater.
Marilyn worked at the movie theater, guys.
It was a very...
She was so in love with movies. She wanted to be close to it.
Worst decision of my life. It was like right after graduation when I was still applying at jobs, you know? Yeah. And so I had to get like an in-between job. And so I worked at the movie theater. And one of my coworkers, this was right when fidget spinners started getting popular.
Yeah.
And they were selling really fancy ones.
Like that lit up and everything? Or like just well made?
His was like, he was hella bragging about it. He was like, I bought this for $300. He brought it to work at the movie theater.
My God.
He was like, I bought this for $300. It's like weighted perfectly on your finger. Watch, I'm going to spin it and it's going to go for minutes. Watch. And he shows it to us. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But I wouldn't pay fucking $300 for that.
I have a little brother and a little sister and they're very obsessed with this. Like, they turned everything into fidget spinners. It was so fun. Not really. I hated it. It was so annoying. But, like, it was all over their schools and stuff. And now, like, I bet you this guy with, like, the $300 fidget spinner that you knew, you think he still uses that shit? No, it's probably, like, in the back of his drawer in his room somewhere.
No, I could see him still using it and telling everyone how much it was just so he could feel better about himself. But
at least if he's getting his money's worth, I guess. Good for him.
But anyways, back to Avatar.
Yes. Katara with the water, you know, in the bowl.
We went on, like, a millennial rant.
We'll edit the gaps. It'll be short for you. You're welcome.
Aang tells Katara that he's going to go ride the Unagi. and Katara doesn't give a shit at all. Aang gets upset and storms off. We cut back to the Kyoshi warrior gym. Sokka's training with some fans. Suki tells him that it's not about strength, but about using your opponent's force against them. She tries to demonstrate on Sokka, but Sokka knocks her off of her feet. Sokka's impressed with himself, and Suki says she fell on purpose to make him feel better. Sokka tries to rub it in, but Suki's not having it. She tells him he got lucky and continues to train him. We cut to Aang in the ocean waiting for the Unagi. The fangirls get impatient and decide to leave, which bums Aang out. Katara shows up and Aang is just thrilled. She tells him how she just wanted to make sure he was safe, and Aang tells her how he thought she didn't care. The two apologize and make up. Aang starts swimming back, but the Unagi pops up and tries to eat Aang. Aang tries to hold on for dear life, but the Unagi flings Aang in the air, and Aang falls into the ocean and belly flops and passes out. Katara runs into the water and grabs Aang. Right when the Unagi tries to attack, Katara waterbends and dodges out of the way. As the Unagi flees, Katara sees Zuko's ship docking on Kyoshi Island. Katara hides while Prince Zuko and some soldiers ride past them in their rhinos. She tells Aang to wake up, but nothing happens. Katara waterbends the water out of Aang's lungs and he gains consciousness.
Yeah. Wow, where do we start?
Okay, can we talk about how Aang expected Katara to worship him?
Yeah.
But no, she's not gonna, because what? You don't want a basic girl.
I know. Which is why, like, all these other little girls' attention, he's trying to replace what he really wants, which is Katara's attention. And then eventually, like, they get bored and they leave, and then he's just sad again. But then Katara comes back, which proves that she's just special.
Yeah, I hate how Aang, at first, he wants, like, a superficial girl.
Ugh, rolls eyes.
And how, the marble thing didn't work on Katara.
Yeah.
And so he finds the next girl possible and shows off to her, which works, and he's happy for a moment, but then realizes, like, there's nothing else there.
Yeah.
Ugh,
like,
men.
Even when, like, he's in the ocean waiting for the elephant koi to pop up, and he was like, girls, look at this, because they're really bored, and he brings out the marbles again. Even the little girls are like, this again? Ugh, we're gonna go, and they all leave all at once, and it just shows how tired it's gonna get. He needs to realize that he's not always gonna get all the praise if he does the smallest things. Which, like, as the Avatar, he's gonna be known for, like, saving the world.
Yeah, in this episode, his priorities are really
minimal.
Yeah, he needs to get his priorities straight.
Can we talk about how they were, like, looking at the Kyoshi statue and how, like, they redid it and how cute it is, and the girls are like, you were pretty. Like, it was so cute. But, like, it just shows how Aang does bring hope where he comes, and I don't think, like, it's sunk in yet to him that he's basically the symbol of hope. Because even in the beginning episodes, like, the Gram was like...
Gran?
Gran. Yeah.
Gram.
Yeah. Gran was like, you brought something which was hope. So, like, I don't think Aang has realized that he is the hope, which is why this whole, like, little island is basically coming back to life.
And it's so
restoring
cute.
Everything, you know, painting, cleaning up everything. Because before it was just always in the defense. Aang ruined that realization when he was, like, trying to get Katara to fangirl over him. Like, she has better things to do.
Yeah, and she really is. You see her planning ahead. She's always, like, one step ahead of everyone.
Yeah. Just, like, all the montages and stuff. What do you think Katara has been doing? Well, like, Sokka's been training and Aang has been, like, running around town, you know? Katara's just, like, getting ready to go. She has the objective on her mind.
Yeah.
Which is why I think that they're a good balance, because Katara's still a kid. It's like they're intertwined in how, like, Katara still needs to, like, have fun, but at the same time, Aang needs someone who's responsible to keep him on track. So it just shows if, like, Katara wasn't there, the world would have ended.
Yeah, and then when Aang visits her and she's practicing her waterbending, right? And they start bickering like an old married couple.
I know.
It's like, good. Yeah, good. I'm gonna do something to spite you. Fine.
But it was, like, cute when they make up, you know?
Yeah.
And then something bad really happens.
I guess that's one thing I love about the gang in general. That's why we love them so much. It's because they're able to admit their mistakes and then move on and learn from it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where all the characters stay the same. No one grows at all.
Everyone's the worst.
this like superstore.
Oh god, everyone's the worst. But yeah, which is why I think this show is so great, because of the character development, and because of the plot twists and all of the different plot lines intertwining. You can see the influences each character has in one another. Even if like the farthest character in relation to someone else in the story has a connection and has influenced one another. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then Sokka going back to the Kyoshi Warrior gym and It's a gym.
It's a gym.
And apologizing to Suki in front of everyone. Like, finally.
You realize that they can kick his butt.
He was so degrading and patronizing and sexist.
I know.
And it was so frustrating to watch. But oh my god, I love Suki so much. I think this is confirmed that Suki was a fan favorite so much that they brought her back in season 2.
Oh.
She was only she was only gonna be like a 1 episode character.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah.
It was better in the end that she came back.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. When we get there. Ooh, okay, but when we get there, every scene that Suki's in, she steals every scene.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
You had that line, remember, with that Suki says about the attire that they wear?
Yeah.
Ugh, chills. What I have a question about was, why are all the warriors women?
Maybe it's like a Black Panther thing.
But like, the thing is, like, you can tell by this town that it's deep rooted in tradition. Like, they even wear the same attire. They paint their faces, everything.
Yeah.
And all of the warriors are still women. Is that just because Kyoshi was a woman?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a tradition to have it passed down to
Really?
like the women in their society. I think it's cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Feminist power.
100%. Then I'm like, where are the men? You know, what are they doing?
They're
Fishing.
merchant. What's his name? I forgot his name already.
Old leader man.
Oyaji? But yeah, Suki's the best.
I like how she actually put him in the dress. They put Sokka in the dress, you know? Like, maybe it's a little to, like, make fun of him, but at the same time, it's just full of tradition and that their teaching style. That he literally has to look at everything in the perspective of a woman. And then that way, maybe he can see that the perspective is the same as a man. Because they're basically equal. I love that scene so much. And then you see how he's learning. And then they're both going back and forth and knocking each other down. And it once again shows how they're equal. But it's also like slight flirting, which is so cute.
So cute.
Foreshadowing. Suki actually took her own time to like train this little misogynist kid. But like at the same time, she was probably like, the only thing I can do here is either kick his ass or teach him a lesson.
Yeah. And then when Sokka finally bested Suki, and he crosses his arms, and he's like, okay.
It was like an accident, you know?
Yeah. Suki's just like, I lost on purpose. You could tell her ego is like a little
bruised, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It caught her off guard, which was funny because it reminded me of like kids interacting with one another, you know? Like when they're playing tag or something, or just like, no, I wasn't ready. It was so cute, which is why I was like, oh, young love, youthfulness.
But like the Kyoshi Warrior outfit is sick.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Even like the face painting, the fans are so dope.
Every time I look at Avatar fan art, the Kyoshi Warrior ones are always like one of the coolest. So badass.
Yeah. Like I can't think of another more badass attire in the Avatar world because that one's my favorite. Every time I think about it, what they wore and stuff, that's the first thing that my mind goes to because I don't really remember any of the other ones being so ornate and like outstanding as that one. Like, can you think of another one that's so that ornate? Go.
I'm trying to think of what other outfits in this show is really cool. Because you got the Fire Nation attire, which is like, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Like dull, very...
Oh, the one... I don't want to spoil. There's spoilers.
Say it.
The Blue Spirit?
Oh, yes!
Oh, that was so sick. The mask.
Okay.
The mask was really cool. What else? Oh my god, we only got 2.
I don't know. We'll think about...
There's more.
I know there's more.
The show has so much detail. What are like the secret service of like the Earth Kingdom?
Oh, the Dai Li?
Yeah, those are cool. But anyway, back to the episode.
Katara's water bending when she saves Aang is
Yes.
dope. She just like pushes with one hand and launches back.
Yeah.
Like a cannon. And then she would be the perfect lifeguard. Oh my god.
Stop fetishizing her.
I'm not fetishizing her. She can do CPR with water bending. Like, she doesn't have to touch anyone's gross lips.
Like so confused by that because I was just like, wait, has he been dead? Because there was water in his lungs. But like, it was so cool. The way that she can like envision the water inside of him.
She can feel it.
She can feel the water inside of him.
That's gross. But also cool. It's grossly cool.
I mean, she saved his life.
Yeah.
Technically twice. Once saving him from the unagi and the other time from drowning.
She's the best lifeguard.
Or mom.
Oh.
The adrenaline. Which is why, like, she's like a novice, like, waterbender now, right?
Yeah, I would
so.
say
Like, the adrenaline of the situation, like, kicks in and she goes into survival mode. So it just shows her instincts as a waterbender power just, like, grows substantially. Oh, so good.
And then you see her practicing her water bending too. When she does have a moment, when she's not taking care of everyone else, she has time to take care of herself. And so she just like gets a bowl of water and just, you know, starts practicing her little... It's the little things, I think. Things. But yeah, let's move on. We cut back to the Kyoshi warrior gym. Oyaji. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh my gosh.
No one has ever said his name.
Is he in the credits in this episode?
Yes.
That's his name in the credits?
Yeah.
We gotta rewatch it again and see if they say his name.
No, I did. When I'm recapping, I pause every 5 seconds. They only say Suki's name maybe like once or twice.
Wow.
And then they never say Oyaji's name. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Oyaji tells Sokka and Suki that the firebenders are here, and he's like, girls, come quickly. And Sokka is offended by that, but there's no time for that. Zuko...
Come on. Drama. Something exciting is happening. Piece of comedy.
Yeah.
It was so funny. He was just like, oh, whatever, you know?
Zuko yells at Aang to come out. As the Fire Nation soldiers march down the village, the Kyoshi warriors attack them. Suki tries to pounce on Zuko, but Zuko uses his rhino's tail to, like, knock her away.
He whipped her out of the way.
Yeah.
Say it, Marilyn. She should have died.
She should have died. He throws a fire punch at her, but Sokka deflects it with his fan. Another Kyoshi warrior pounces on Prince Zuko and knocks him off of his rhino. They surround Zuko, but he fire flares, like capoeira kicks, and knocks everyone off of their feet. He taunts Aang again to come out by saying, I quote, "These little girls can't save you." Ugh. God. Zuko.
Rolls eyes.
Aang finally comes out and confronts him, and Zuko starts firebending at him. Aang dodges all of the attacks by airbending. He sees a set of fans on the floor and picks it up. And Zuko starts running at Aang to attack him. And Aang, like, air bombs him with the fans.
Air bombs.
How do I explain it? Because he goes, boom! Yeah. And then Zuko gets flung back at like 90 miles an hour, crashes into a building, and there's just like explosion and rubble everywhere.
He should have died.
Aang flies away on his glider and looks down at the village and sees that the village is on fire. Like, the whole village is on fire. Aang lands next to Katara and says that all of this destruction is his fault. Katara tells Aang that they should leave, even if it feels wrong to run away. Zuko will follow them. Aang sighs and says that he'll call Appa. We cut back to the Kyoshi warriors still fighting the firebenders. Sokka and Suki are hiding behind a building, and Suki says there's no time to say goodbye. Sokka apologizes again to Suki and says he should have treated Suki as a warrior instead of a girl. Suki responds by saying that I am a warrior, but I'm a girl too, and kisses Sokka on the cheek. Sokka blushes. She tells Sokka to leave while she holds him off. The gang flies away on Appa, and Katara tries to comfort Aang by saying she knows that he feels shitty by running away, but it was the right choice to make.
In those specific words.
I know you feel like shit, but...
we gotta go.
We gotta go. Aang makes like an angry face, jumps off of Appa, and dives into the ocean. The unagi pops out, and we see Aang on the nose of the unagi.
I think like what's the name of that, like the part of the fish?
I don't know. But he like grabs the fish's whiskers and pulls it back like a horse rein.
And he's like whipping in the air, and then like he gains control.
Yeah.
and like lands on the head to steer, like in Ratatouille. He's straight up ratatouilleing on like the unagi where he controls it.
And so he pulls back, and the unagi shoots out huge stream of water like a water hose and puts out all of the fires. Zuko and the soldiers are just drenched.
And they're all on one rhino. Like, what happened to the other ones they brought?
I don't know.
But there's just like, how many people would you say on that one little rhino? Too many to count.
Too many men on that one.
And they're like sopping wet with like the most grumpy face ever.
Oyaji watches from his window as the gang flies away and says out loud, "Thank you, Avatar." Aang gets back on Appa and tells him...
Aang like jumps into the air and Appa comes and like catches him with his hands. I noticed this, which is why Appa is the best, okay? Because nobody told Appa to do that. Literally, Appa's just so connected with Aang and so smart as a creature. Like, he is not simple. That he's just like literally caught him and just kept going. If I threw myself on my dog, he would run away or like ignore me or something, which shows that he's more complex than just like a simple pet. I love Appa.
I feel like you're gonna say, "Yeah, Yen." Or to me, I said that, right?
You said that.
I was like, Appa's just a simple pipe.
He is not simple.
He's not
simple.
God. Aang tells him that he knows what he did was stupid and dangerous, and Katara agrees. She's like, yes, it was dangerous. And Attack hugs him. Aang smiles. He's like, oh. The episode ends with the gang riding off into the sunset.
Aww.
Air bomb.
Is it an air bomb? Is it more like an air wave?
I feel like I'm like in a Pokemon meeting when they try to make Pokemon moves. And it's like, what sounds right? What accurately describes...
Like a naming. Yeah.
Gust.
A gust. Oh, maybe.
A flying move gust.
That could work. We'll just go bomb. Sounds better.
But holy shit, air bombs it with the fans. I was thinking to myself, like, can you imagine Avatar Kyoshi in her prime?
Exactly.
With all of the elements that she can control, including airbending with the fans.
Yeah. Like, it was just like a throwback. Him, like, kind of like channeling his past life of Kyoshi using, like, her instincts that are within him to, like, take down Zuko with an air bomb.
Thank you for using my term.
Yeah, we gotta normalize it, you know?
Oh my god. Suki should have died from that.
Everybody should be dead.
But going back, that rhino has a tail?
Oh my god.
I know they combine animals.
Yeah.
But in the show, they only call it a rhino. They don't call it like a...
Well, like, you know how like rhino is short for rhinoceros? Maybe it's just like the other part of the word.
Like rhino serpent?
Lizard?
Rhino lizard? It looks like a rhino lizard.
Yeah, but it has a tail.
But anyways, yeah, when Suki is like on the floor and Sokka deflected the fire thing, and another Kyoshi warrior pops out of nowhere, like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Like, shoo.
They're so cool. Like this whole episode, I got like Assassin's Creed vibes, where the Kyoshi warriors just pop out from above the trees like ninjas.
Yeah, like they're so stealth, yet they wear the most ostentatious out there outfits, you know, with face painting and gold fans, yet they're so stealthy and can like run so fast that they're so quiet at the same time.
And then Zuko calls them little girls, yet he got taken down by this little girl.
He gets taken down by a little boy too with his air bombs.
Oh, going back to the contrast between Zuko and Aang, and Zuko thinks Aang is like this huge mastermind that is purposefully losing their tail, but Aang doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
I know, so funny. He was just like, we can't find them, and it's like literally Aang's just lost.
Yeah, Aang does look like a total badass because he bested Zuko in like every opportunity with the air bomb.
Yeah.
He basically like controlled the unagi, which is insane.
Yeah, like he hasn't been able to do that before.
And even though this episode Aang was really annoying, he has moments where he shines. He does things that are really unexpected. Like he really is brave. And diving headfirst into the unagi, when he sets his mind on something, like nothing can stop him.
Yeah. Can we talk about how high he jumped into the water? Like he should have died. but like head first.
The belly flop.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All of his bones should have shattered.
I know. Anyway, for the story.
It's a cartoon, I guess.
Cartoon, we get it. But kids, don't jump off flying bisons.
Just casually riding my flying bison, jumping off of it. Would you eat that unagi? You do love eel.
Oh, I do love eel. Well, I need a lot of eel sauce.
Oh my god.
A lot of eel sauce.
I love Suki so much. It was so cute when she was like, I am a warrior, but I'm a girl too.
And then like how you were telling me how her role should have been so much smaller than it should have been. It just makes me think how like lackluster the character development of Sokka would have been, because she has like made him grow so much in this series. Like she's responsible for a lot of stuff. They made the right move by keeping her, because not only is she like influential for Sokka, but like just the story itself, because she's just a badass warrior at the end of the day, you know?
Oh my god, the episode with Appa's solo episode.
I can't wait to talk about that one.
Just when you think you can't love Suki more, every scene, I kid you not, she should have had more scenes.
I know. Or her own spin-off.
Yes, I would watch a Suki spin-off.
Yeah, or like a mini-series, if anything, you know? There's potential there.
There's so much mystery behind Suki. Like, you want to know her more. Like, Katara is the epitome of a feminist superhero. But I feel like Suki, she's so badass and she's so strong, and she's this leader of like these 14-year-old Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts? No, Marilyn. Warriors.
Okay, let me repeat myself. She's like this leader of these group of warriors that protects like the whole island. I don't know how big the island is, but
it's pretty small.
Can you imagine like a 14-year-old running around giving you like parking tickets?
Parking their bisons in the wrong place.
Yeah. And you can't argue with her because she can beat you up.
Yeah. Do you think like she represents what Sokka wanted to be for his tribe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I view it, because like they're both really small villages, and like Suki's already like the leader of her own warrior clan, and Sokka tried to do that back in his village with like all the little like babies, which are so cute by the way. It just shows how she has accomplished everything that he wants, but like he takes it as an opportunity to learn. It just shows how amazing she is. She's so badass.
Yeah. And then, like you said earlier, she's changed Sokka so much for the better. Later, you see the moon goddess, Yuri, and their weekly romance.
I guess.
Very Disney of them, too. Well, we get there.
Yeah,
but
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think later down the line, when Sokka finally becomes the man that Suki deserves, and they get together, how does she grow from that relationship? Like, what does Sokka have?
When was the next time we see Suki? Is that when they're, like, crossing was it the Serpent's Tail?
Yeah.
Sokka has changed so much because of all the drama that he went through. I think it's, like, drama's so, like, soft because, like, it's so much more than drama. It's, like, traumatizing him a little bit. But it's definitely shown how he's grown. But, like, it also shows how Suki has grown because her and the other Kyoshi warriors decided to leave the village to go help others. You know, so it's, like, mutual character development and mutual growth in how they both changed but still have like maintained that connection.
Oh, do you think Sokka inspired Suki to travel?
Yeah, she said so.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. She was like, you inspired the Kyoshi warriors and I to go out and help others.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Yeah.
So they do bring the best out of each other.
How do you feel about the part of the episode where she was like, I'm a warrior, but I'm also a girl too, and then they kissed each other on the cheek or something like that?
I thought that was cute.
It was cute, but like, do you think it digressed because she like ultimately...
I think at that moment, they both equally respected each other as warriors and as partners, and they put their faith in each other, even if they knew each other for like a couple days. Like what you said earlier, this girl went out of her way to accept me into this group where they don't teach men, they don't teach outsiders, and she's like devoting time one-on-one with me to help me become the man that I want to be.
They're literally behind a burning building.
They're at war.
They're at war behind a burning building while Sokka has to leave with the Avatar because they're leaving to get Zuko to leave the village. And she takes that moment and she just kisses him on the cheek. And they don't know if they're going to see each other again, you know?
Yeah.
So, it's just
All emotions are heightened.
True.
She's what is it? I assume, how old is she? 15?
I guess.
16?
I mean,
She's
she's very... I feel so unaccomplished compared to her. Like, God, she's like, like second in command of a village, like leader of a warrior team, has her own gym.
Yes, it's a gym. But yeah, I think that kiss is fine.
Yeah.
The kiss humanizes her, and we do remember that she does have a life outside of the Kyoshi warriors. Oh, I kid you not. I think I counted like a total of 4 or 5 times. Katara specifically said, we should leave the village now. And
oh, I know.
And every time Aang brushes it off and doesn't listen to her. And it bites him in the butt later. And the village suffers because of that. And like what you said earlier with Aang running away from his responsibilities, he finds his village that was untouched by the war, and he's just like stuck in nostalgia, but also like bathing in all of the glory. And it just sucks how he has to learn the hard way.
He literally got hit with reality when he looks down at that village and everything's like falling to shambles.
Yeah, and then we feel it too, like holy shit, firebenders suck.
Yeah.
They suck so much. Oh, before I forget, what bender would you be?
God, I was hoping you would forget. Because this is so... I was supposed to take a quiz. I don't know.
You can't picture yourself doing anything?
Every element has like its grace. I feel like I would be a waterbender. I just love it. It goes from the spectrum of like healing people. If you could heal people, like even for just that power, I'm fine. But because of the capability to like move water around you, oh my God, I'm dehydrated all the time. I would just bring water out of thin air and just like drink water while I'm like upstairs on a bed or something. You know, I don't have to walk all the way down to the kitchen. Yeah, I think I would be a waterbender. I think I connect most with that tribe too. Because like I love earthbenders, but like I just feel like it's too gritty and strength based for me. And I like the more elegance and the waterbenders. We all know you're a waterbender, Marilyn.
Yes, team waterbender.
I changed my answer. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
And I can't believe I don't know this answer. But so some waterbenders can heal, but not all waterbenders can heal, right?
Say that again.
It's like, what is it, Wagyu beef? Like all Kobe beef is Wagyu beef, but not all Wagyu beef is Kobe beef. Is that the same with waterbenders? Like all healers are waterbenders, but not all waterbenders are healers.
No, I feel like you can learn to be a healer because in the later episodes when they're in the North Pole, all the women are sent to learn how to heal.
Really?
So yeah, there was a class, remember? Oh my God, you gotta rewatch the series, Marilyn. So I think it's like something you have to learn. But like, I think Katara has just like that natural instinct for waterbending that she already knows how to heal.
Because her personality is she wants to take care of everyone.
Yeah,
so naturally.
Exactly. Naturally, she would have that capability.
Yeah.
Because like, as they say, the bending comes from within.
Yeah. Going back to how both of us are very much like Katara. Like we're the responsible ones that love taking care of people when they're being reckless. We both love to like heal people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good teamwork. Oh, that shot of Avatar Kyoshi's statue on fire.
Yeah.
For some reason that got to me more than it should have. Or maybe that was the goal. It was just so heartbreaking to see.
I know, especially since they fix it up and everyone's happy and hopeful and they're like, yay, like we have the Avatar, we're okay. But then like the Fire Nation comes and the Fire Nation sets everything on fire. Literally, like you just look at this beautifully restored statue up in flames and it's just like, oh shit, things are going bad. Like we need to fix this. You can't just hide. Which is why I feel like he didn't like to be running away. Which is why I think he jumped to the Unagi and then like watered everything down so the fires would stop.
Yeah.
Because like he couldn't not do anything. But like it's him also accepting that like he has to do something with the situation with the war. He can't just keep running. So that's ultimately he did do something in the end. I also wanted to point out that this is the one time so far in the series where he didn't go into the Avatar state.
Yes.
But he also solves the problem.
Oh.
You know? Like he also helped but without going into the Avatar state. So I thought that was interesting with what he's capable of doing just as him, Aang. Because is he a master of airbending?
Yeah, that's how he has the tattoos.
Oh. Wow, he's so young.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, the culture of the Air Nation, you devote your whole life to this craft and you master it.
I wish they delved more deep into that.
And there's something really disturbing with the idea of little kids getting tattooed at such a young age. Like, one, it shows that they have to grow up way faster than they should with taking on all the responsibilities.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that would be so cool to have after all the tattoo pain, but just be covered in your tribal tattoos. And as a little kid, like, you've earned this. You can now say you're an airbending master. That's really cool. Can you imagine what Aang felt? Like, all the shame. Like Game of Thrones. Shame. Literally, he single-handedly almost destroyed Avatar Kyoshi's legacy of the whole entire island by, like, drawing the Fire Nation. They were basically out of the war for centuries.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard that is?
I know. But at the same time, it was like a positive and a negative because, as you say, like, I feel like they were in the defensive mode for the entire time. And once the Avatar came and left, that's when, like, they started going into the offensive mode and going out and contributing to help fight the war. Like, that's why the Kyoshi warriors left, to go help others, as opposed to just, like, defending this tiny village to maintain peace for them. It just shows the influence of the Avatar.
Yeah.
He saw how destructive his presence can be. So he viewed that as a wake-up call to, like, okay, you have to keep moving. You have to complete your mission. You can't just stay and hang out and, like, live a normal life, because you can't live a normal life because you're the Avatar. Even though you're a kid, you can't have these, like, pleasures of just...
the little things. He can't...
little things.
Like, he can enjoy the little things.
That's the reason why he, like, ran away, right? Because, like, they wanted to take him to, like, solely focus on becoming the Avatar. And he wanted, like, a normal life. Like, he did not want to be the Avatar.
Yeah.
He got the taste of, like, what he wanted, but he also saw what would happen if he got what he wanted.
Fuck.
Yeah. His destiny is just a whole bunch of sacrifices.
Okay, so let's recap. A lot happened in this episode. Sokka was put in his place, finally. Ugh. Suki is amazing.
We love Suki. Team Suki.
Team Suki.
Can I change my bending thing to just be a Kyoshi warrior?
Okay, yeah.
Yay!
Eddie, my husband, he was drawing up some demos for the Avatar cover art for this podcast. Yeah. And he put something representative of the whole gang. So, like, Aang's tattoo, Sokka's boomerang, Zuko's car. And then he put the fan in, too, for Suki. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, whenever people talk about the gang, they don't include Suki. And I'm like, no, Suki's the best part. Although, like, no one ever includes Appa or Momo either.
I know. Well, like, secondary characters, I think.
Yeah, I would say Suki's the secondary character because we don't really get to know her that much.
Like, we really don't even see what they do between the time after they leave this episode and when Suki eventually comes back, you know?
Yeah, like, how did she get to that underground railroad?
No.
I think this further seals in that Suki worked for the Underground Railroad for refugees. I think that's so admirable.
Where's Kyoshi Island located? Is that in the Earth Kingdom?
That's a good question, because they were, like, flying in the ocean.
There are no benders there.
There's no benders there.
Which is weird.
That they don't show?
Yeah, but, like, at the same time, like, is it in the Earth Kingdom or the Earth Benders? Because it's not in the Fire Nation, duh.
I think it's like an island, like, if you imagine Hawaii, it's in the middle of nowhere, but U.S. conquered it. And that's what the Fire Nation's trying to do. They're trying to conquer this little island.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so Sokka was put in his place, / he's not sexist anymore after this episode, right?
Well, let me think. He's growing.
They,
like, opened the door to growth, which is just gonna keep opening and opening and opening.
Yeah. Suki, life goals.
Yeah.
Aang's ego is still big, but...
He had a reality check.
Aang had a reality check. Katara becomes more badass than she already is.
Katara proves how she is a strong, independent woman. Who needs to take care of everybody.
Momo is amazing, because Momo's so useful because he has thumbs.
Yeah.
And then Appa saves the day as usual.
Yeah. Appa carries everybody on his back, literally catches Aang in mid-air.
Zuko should have died.
Many times.
Zuko didn't get that much to do in this episode. And then Uncle Iroh, it was a slow episode for him too. He didn't get to do much.
Oh, he didn't get any fish.
Oh, right.
Like, it gives a little comedic aspect to Zuko when, like, he was storming off to get ready to go after the Avatar. And then Uncle Iroh's like, are you gonna eat that? And then, like, Zuko comes back in and was like, I was saving it for later, you know? He gives some character and, like, a little bit of, like, comedic aspect to him.
Yeah. I forgot what director said it, but, like, he always has to have food in his movies. Because it's not real life if you don't have food.
Yeah.
You gotta, like, incorporate that sometimes. And this show does a really good job with incorporating food.
There is no connection between people if they don't partake in food or a meal together.
Yeah. There's that whole debate where some people feel lonely if they don't eat with someone.
Yeah.
And then at other times people are fine with eating alone. But yeah, food is a very human trait. And the buffet of treats for breakfast looked so good.
I know. I don't even know what they were and I want them.
This is a very feminist episode.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Another fun fact. On IMDb, they have like lists for everything. And one of them is the top TV shows ranked by women. And Avatar: The Last Airbender was like top 5, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Which, I mean, of course,
What was number 1?
I forgot. But yeah, this show is so good.
Yeah. Do you think it can travel generations?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is why I want to really show it to my little brother.
Yeah.
To see what he grasps and connects from it.
Wait, how old is he?
He's 9.
Ooh, we should bring him in. Have him watch it with you, and then we'll bring him in. I'll ask him.
For sure. I just got the DVD set.
Thank you, Briana, for being on this episode.
Thank you for having me. It was fun. I was a little nervous. Thank you for listening.
Any social media plugins you want to add?
I have an Instagram. It's at Briana Trujillo and then the number 1. Briana with an I and 1 N. So yeah, look me up. I follow Beyond Bending on Instagram. So
yes.
You can find me through there too. Follow Beyond Bending on Instagram, everybody.
And then Brianna's worked on so much stuff at Interscope. I'm pretty sure you've seen
You've probably seen it, but
you don't remember anything.
I honestly have done so many billboards and so many Instagram ads for all these different artists that I just forget.
He goes in one ear, out the other.
More like it goes through one project and then on to the next project. I'm always working, never stopping.
Work hard, play hard.
Exactly, but I gotta play harder.
What is your favorite catchphrase?
Oh my god.
So I've been waiting for someone to point it out.
Yeah, I know.
But, okay, so...
Did you rewatch it to make sure?
Yeah, so it's Flamio Hotman. Mm-hmm. But for some reason I thought it was Flamion Hotsman, which sounds more full. I like it.
But then I said it sounds like Flame On from the Fantastic Four with Chris Evans.
Flamion Hotsman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going to keep saying it. It's like the Star Wars quote where people think that Darth Vader said, "Luke, I'm your father." But
it's one of the most iconic lines in cinema.
Yeah, but if you watch it, he actually says, "No, I am your father."
Oh.
He never says, "Luke, I am your father." And so people have been misquoting it for decades.
Wow.
And so I'm just going to say Flamion Hotsman. Fuck it. It sounds cool to me.
It's like aloha.
Yeah.
Hello, goodbye.
Would yours be Appa yip yip?
I would, but I'm pretty sure someone already said that.
It's fine.
Sure, but my second favorite is my cabbages. I feel like every time someone thinks Avatar, they always think my cabbages.
So great. Flamion Hotsman.
My cabbages.